All right, folks, good afternoon. We'd like to thank all of you for being with us here today. We are joined by Commissioner Alan H. Bud Selig, New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman, and Tony Clark, All-Star and Director of Player Services for Major League Baseball Players Association. The foundation of democracy is fair and equal treatment for all. Harassment, discrimination based on differences erodes that foundation. Today, we're going to see some of the most significant steps yet in protections of liberty for all. Harassment and discrimination based on sexual orientation, particularly in professional sports, is a serious issue that needs to be dealt with directly. The Attorney General of New York, Eric Schneiderman, has fought to ensure equal protection under the law for all employees, no matter where they work, since he was elected in 2011. The Attorney General of New York, Eric Schneiderman.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'd like to thank Commissioner Selig and Major League Baseball for inviting me to the All-Star Fan Fest, and Tony Clark and the Major League Baseball Players Association he's representing here today for joining us as well. In the last 5 days or so, baseball fans have been able to celebrate our national pastime with a variety of great events, and tonight, baseball's best will put on a terrific show at our own Citi Field. Everyone in New York loves having you here, and we're excited about tonight's game. And we're excited about the fact that the players who take the field tonight were chosen for one reason, because they are the best at what they do. And that's all that counts, no matter who they are, no matter what they look like, or who they love, or where they're from. Their talents took them to the top of their game. That's the American way, having the opportunity to use your full potential to do whatever you want to do. All people deserve to be treated with tolerance and respect. It is very important, and particularly important in professional sports, because Commissioner and Tony, you know this, but what your players do and the message you send as a sport reverberates across the country and influences millions of people, particularly children. And there are millions of boys and girls across America who use our players as role models and watch the way they act and what they say and what they do. You have a big impact. We're joined today by Gavin Levy, who's 8 years old, who's the son of my chief deputy and an incredible fan. And children like him all over America are watching what we're doing here today, and I'm honored to be here because in the last few months we've seen some major breakthroughs in the fight for tolerance and against discrimination based on sexual orientation in professional sports. And today, baseball is taking an important and principled stand for tolerance and against discrimination. I am proud to be with you for this announcement. Baseball, I have to note, the Players Association and Major League Baseball did have in their last collective bargaining agreement a provision prohibiting discrimination based on sexual orientation, so they are not newcomers to this effort for equality and tolerance. But today, we are announcing 4 significant steps. First, the league has agreed to adopt a new code of conduct, which you can see here next to us in both English and Spanish. This will be provided to every employee of every major and minor league club, posted in every locker room, will be on the chairs of every professional ball player at every level. This includes every minor league team as well as the majors. And this is about much more than clubhouse policy. We're talking about policies that make sure from the top on down, everyone's rights are respected, dignity is respected, and if they are not, there will be a clear means of reporting discriminatory behavior. Second, to make sure that all officials involved in scouting and recruiting at every level of the game fully understand these rules. The Major League Scouting Bureau is providing materials on anti-gay bias to club scouting and farm directors all over America, so those involved in the scouting of amateur players will understand these rules as well. This will help to create a culture of acceptance early in the process and ensure that no prospect is shut out because of his sexual orientation. Third, the league has agreed to conduct tolerance training sessions for club and league officials and staff beginning at the next league meeting in Orlando this November. And finally, the Office of the Commissioner will strengthen the reporting process by designating a centralized league-level contact person to handle complaints of harassment or discrimination. All players and club personnel will have access to this confidential reporting system. And I have to say that it has been a pleasure dealing with the Commissioner and his labor team. It has been a pleasure dealing with the Players Association on this. They have been firm supporters of these efforts from our first engagement, and I am very proud to be here on the day that the great American pastime of baseball sends a message that no professional athlete, professional or amateur, should have to sit on the sidelines or hide out of fear of being mistreated because of their sexual orientation. I commend the Commissioner and Major League Baseball for leading the charge for tolerance in professional sports.
Thank you, Attorney General, for those comments. Commissioner Selig has been at the helm of a renaissance in baseball since 1992. He has set a zero-tolerance policy for harassment and discrimination across baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, Commissioner Selig.
Thank you very much. And Major League Baseball is pleased to have worked with the state of New York and Attorney General Schneiderman on this important effort. We're proud to have a zero-tolerance policy for any form of harassment or discrimination based on sexual orientation. This is an objective shared across our entire industry by my office, myself, our 30 clubs, and our colleagues with the Players Association. Diversity is a hallmark of our sport, which is blessed to have an innate ability to bring people together. The people of our sport have a responsibility to act with a kind of respect and sensitivity that our game's diverse players, employees, and fans deserve. The culture that all of us share is one of tolerance and of respect. This new effort with the state of New York marks the latest significant step for us. We've included a specific prohibition, as the Attorney General said, against sexual orientation discrimination in our most recent collective bargaining agreement. And we've also implemented relevant rules in our social media policies for players and for employees. We welcome a workplace code of conduct which will be distributed to all of our on-field personnel, along with new training opportunities, and a centralized system for the reporting of incidents and complaints. Our game is more than just a national pastime. We are, as I often say, a social institution. No individual better exemplifies that stature than the great pioneer who changed our game and as a result changed society, Jackie Robinson, a symbol of tolerance and the power of one's action. We treasure the example that Jackie set, and I've strived to ensure that his legacy will be celebrated in our game for as long as baseball is played. I believe that this plan will help us protect the players of the present and the future in the game that Jackie loved so deeply. On behalf of Major League Baseball, I thank the Attorney General and the state of New York for their partnership on this. This is a very proud day for the great game of baseball. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And finally, we'll hear from today Tony Clark, a successful 15-year career in Major League Baseball. Happened to have the honor of playing for both New York clubs, and it was an all-star. He is currently the Director of Player Services for Major League Baseball Players Association. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Clark.
Thank you. My remarks will be very short. I think the Attorney General and Commissioner Selig have done an unbelievable job of articulating what we are interested in supporting as well. Being able to put together a code of conduct that puts in place the foundation for providing support regardless of where you come from, regardless of the color of your skin, regardless of your sexual orientation, provides an atmosphere in a clubhouse that is conducive to everyone realizing their potential, not just as a baseball player, but as an individual. So today, being here on behalf of the Players Association in an effort to support this new code of conduct on the heels of what we put in place coming out of bargaining in 2011 is something that we're very honored and privileged to be a part of and look forward to providing support going forward. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today. Enjoy the rest of All-Star Fan Fest and obviously the 84th All-Star Game tonight. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.